Hello friends, and welcome back to the Dork side. I'm the Dork in the road, and somehow, inexplicably, totally out of the blue, it is new bike day. Again. I'm the Dork in the road, and I want to be your internet riding buddy, so please consider subscribing. I know this is too many surprise new bike days in one year, but I foolishly was on Facebook Marketplace today, and I found a deal on a bike that is unbelievably good, and it's just too good to pass up. I should not be buying a new motorcycle right now. We're in the middle of moving. I can't take out a new loan, but this deal was so good, I can take out the cash and go pay for it, and then hopefully make it up by selling a bike. You guys know, or at least if you've seen the videos, you've heard me talk about thinking about upgrading from the DRZ, how it's probably time to upgrade from the DRZ. You guys know I test rode a 450L, I test rode a 500 EXC-F, have some experience on the Husky 501, and so a bike came up today for a ridiculous price. Messaged the guy and offered him a little bit less, and he said yes. So I'm gonna go get it. It is about 5 hours away in Seattle. I'm driving up to Seattle from Oregon here, and I'm gonna bring it home tonight. Definitely an upgrade. So if you have a guess as to what it is, leave it in the comments right now. I'm gonna get on the road and head up there, and I'll catch up with you guys along the way, and you'll see what it is soon enough. 5 hours for me, a few minutes for you. But first, I gotta go to the bank, and I gotta get gas and do a lot of driving, so let's go. New bike day. It's my favorite day of the year. Yeah. Those of you that are like, you change bikes more often than you change your underwear. Maybe, but I have had this bike since 2020. So 2 years and a couple months is not, I mean, I hope you change your underwear more often than that, but some of y'all are gross, I don't know. All right, let's get rolling. So we're still about an hour away. I've been on the road for 4 hours, and the traffic is just, we just got through a 30-minute slowdown stop because of an accident near Centralia. Ooh, but there's Mount Rainier. We're gonna stop and go traffic again. Many of you saw the 500 EXC-F test ride that I did and saw how excited I was about that bike and how much I really thought that might be a good bike for me, a good next bike for me. I just posted, hey, I'm getting a new bike, it's new bike day. What do you guys think I'm getting? And a lot of people are guessing the 500 EXC-F. A lot of people are guessing the Touareg. I wish. I do not need another adventure bike though. I got one more than I could ride at a time right now anyway. So I mentioned it's a DRZ replacement. And you know, you're smart to have guessed 500 EXC-F, but I'm gonna tell you right now, that's not what it is. And in fact, there's 40 comments on that post and nobody's guessed it. Nobody's guessed it. But it is a bike that I test rode not that long ago and really enjoyed. And if you look back at that video, which I'll link for you, which gives it away, but whatever. Oh good, more traffic, more stop and go. Brake lights, sigh. I don't know, I'll talk more about the deal later, but I saw this one. It's got 600 miles. It is practically brand new, not even the break-in oil change, or just at the break-in oil change. And the price is ridiculous. So the book value on this bike is $9,500. I looked it up multiple times. I'm in the wrong lane. This one's slow as hell. I keep getting passed by everybody. I gotta get out of the fast lane. Book value, high book, $9,500. Dude had it listed for $8,000, and I said, it's gonna cost me about $300 in gas to get there and back. Would you consider dropping the price by that amount? He said he would. So I'm getting this bike with 600 miles for $7,700. It is a 2019, and I can't wait for you to see what it is. But pretty excited about the deal, because even if I don't like it, I'll just sell it and I could make money on the deal. And to the haters in the comments being like, oh, you get all the hookups, I wish I was a blah 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 influencer. Like, I just messaged the guy on Facebook Marketplace. The only bike I've ever gotten like a special influencer or anything on is the Tenere, aside from the bras, which I got for free, but I feel like that doesn't count because, you know, not many people want those. The Tenere, and I paid over retail for it. I just got first dibs is all. The Norden I pre-ordered just like anyone else, and every other bike I've ever bought, I just went and bought just like anyone else. So I appreciate the fact that people think that I'm so big and famous that I can get all these hookups. The other thing I get a lot is, oh, you're just saying that because you're getting paid to say it. If you could find me a way to get paid to say things, I'd love to get paid to say things. Legally, I have to disclose it. So anytime I'm getting paid, I tell you right up front. Just know that. I still try to be as honest as possible. I buy these bikes with my own money so that I can review them and make content on them over a long period of time. I don't I'm not big enough for manufacturers to give me motorcycles. I'm not. No, I've never gotten one from a manufacturer with the exception of the bras. I don't get press bikes. I have tried. I have worked every connection I could think of. I handed my card directly to the CEO of Ducati North America. I've talked to the marketing guys for Triumph. For Suzuki, I talked to their head of marketing. I know the regional director for Royal Enfield, and none of these things have led to anything. So that's a side note, but I'm stuck in traffic and I'm just rambling right now. But the point is, I'm just buying these bikes, man. I would love to get to the point where they're giving them to me or I can get a hookup, just because it makes it easier for me to make content for you. But I buy them myself, you know, and for the most part, I get them the same way y'all do. I just have a little bit more disposable income these days because it's my job. And so, you know, it's I take the money and reinvest it in the business to make content for all of you. And I know the vast majority of you appreciate that, and I love you, and I thank you. But that's enough rambling. Let's get there. We got about 45 miles to go, and hopefully this traffic clears up. But I can't wait to show you this bike. I can't wait to see it. I'm stoked. It is a bike I have lusted over for a long time, and I think once you see it, you won't be surprised. You'll be surprised because it's not one that I've talked about as much recently, but you won't be surprised when you see what it is. All right, let's get there. Well, friends, here we are. I'm in the driveway, just made the deal and loaded up the bike. Last chance to guess what it is. Moment of truth. It's a 2019 CRF450L, 600 original miles. It's a 2019, and it is a beast. In great shape, barely ridden, barely broken in. It's basically new, and I got an unbelievable deal that I couldn't pass up. So we're taking this bad boy home, and we're gonna make it into the ultimate trail bike slash BDR killer. I'm excited. Let's get on the road. Well, once again, my life is traffic. This is why I'm a small town boy. I don't do big cities. I hate this shit. It drives me up the wall. Like, I get super irritated by it. So, distracting myself by talking to all of you. But as you can see behind me, in the back of the truck, is a 2019 CRF450L. This thing has 600 original miles. It is essentially a brand new bike, but it's a 2019. High Blue Book on this bike is $9,500. There's a dealership near me selling a 2019 with more miles than this for $11,000. And I got this one for $7,700. So as much as I wanted a 500 EXC-F, and I still do, and someday I'll probably get one, the possibility, the potential of buying this bike, modding it out the way that I want it, and giving it a try for all the stuff that I want to do, turning it into the trail bike that can also tackle BDRs, be that BDR killer, kind of like Tim on his 500 on our Wobder trip. It was too much to pass up. You know, this is a bike that I've loved since they announced it, and my biggest concern with it is the weight, because it's 289 pounds wet, and you know, that's 40 pounds more than the KTM, although supposedly the KTM is 264 wet, around that, so really it's 30 pounds. You can eliminate about 10 of that by replacing the muffler, but it's always going to be a heavier bike. It's overbuilt in a way that the KTMs aren't, and I understand that. So I want to see how much that affects me. I want to see how much I feel it, because I love that KTM, and I love the way you can just throw it around like a mountain bike. And I've heard that the 450L wears its weight down low, and it doesn't feel as heavy as it is. I have ridden one. I've ridden one on the street, and I did that extended desert test ride at the Get On ADV Fest. I rode Barber Rides, and I know what you're going to put in the comments. I know what you guys are thinking already. You're thinking, but that needs a Vortex ECU to be better at what you like it for. And you know what? You might be right. Oh my God, this truck is like, look, it's rhino lined. The whole truck is rhino lined. That is the ultimate, that's the most rugged paint job you could possibly put on. Interesting, interesting. The things you see in Washington. But what was I saying? Oh, you're going to tell me I need the Vortex ECU, and you might be right. I'll ride it stock for a little bit, but for what I paid, I can afford it. Like, seriously. That Vortex ECU is what, $800, and probably an exhaust. Gotta put $1,200 into it or so, and even then, I'm only into it, you know, less than $9,000. So I'm excited. I'm excited. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. So What do you think? Back on Team Red, right? You guys know, this shouldn't surprise you if you've been watching for a long time. You guys know I'm a Japanese motorcycle fanboy. You know I am. That was my whole thing when I started. And yes, I've been dabbling in European bikes. Yes, I love my Norden 901. Yes, I test rode a KTM 500 EXC-F and really liked it. But when this thing popped up, and the guy I made an offer on his 2015 EXC-F earlier today said no, I was like, why don't I just try to get this one for cheap? And I got this one for what I offered that guy for his, for a 2015 with way more miles. So I feel pretty good about this deal. The deal was insane. It was hard to pass up. I think it's gonna do a lot of what I wanted to do. I'm gonna have fun riding it. I know the suspension is better than what I'm used to, but sadly, yes, this means the DRZ will have to go up for sale. I've never really long-term regretted selling a bike, not one time. Not even the 250L, and I love that thing. But the DRZ is one that I could see myself wishing I still had, and maybe even buying another one someday. I could see that. Just one, monetarily, I can't swing it. You guys, you know, I pay for these things with my own money, and I borrowed money from what I was saving for taxes to buy this, so I got to sell the sell the DRZ to pay the taxes, because you know you pay taxes when you're self-employed and you pay a lot of them. So I got to do that someday. Who knows? You know, maybe I'll find a smoking deal on a DRZ. But I only have one butt. I can only ride one at a time. I've made a lot of content on the DRZ. It's time to try something new, and the DRZ will always hold a special place in my heart. I got about 4 hours to get home once I get out of this traffic. So I'm gonna keep driving, but I'd love to hear what you think about the 450L. If you were surprised, were you surprised? Let me know that in the comments. That'll be neat to hear if you were like, what? But you shouldn't have been if you've been around for a long time. I just did a little bit of a head fake with the 500, which I still like, don't get me wrong, but that's just not what we're doing right now. So gotta get home to the old wife, who was very generous and gracious enough to let me take off for 9 hours of driving on no notice at all. And leave her by herself at home with a broken foot, so I gotta get back to her. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you, and please do not forget to be excellent to each other. Thank you.